Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the first TBR of 2025. It's going to be January here next week, and that brings a whole new year. So I think I explained it in my last video, but if not, I am going to be doing my TBRs a little bit different this year. After this one, I will be doing some of the same as my December TBR. Each number I pull is going to correlate to a prompt on the 52 Book Club prompt list for 2025, and that's the book I will be reading. However, for this month, I'm not going to be picking from a few of the prompts just because it's going to need to be a little bit later and further into the challenge before I can actually read these prompts. So, for example, like read in a Burr month, I can't do that until September now. I will say I already have made progress. I did start the 52 book challenge in December because like I said, ended school in the middle of December and wanted to get a start on it. I have read 2, almost 3 of the books so far. I ended up switching a few of the books that I had put down. I know I made a video about which books I was reading for what, but I have already made a couple changes. They have been made on this cart already. I've already switched out some things. But my third person book, I did switch to The Wind Through the Keyhole by Stephen King, because I did some stuff in December that took me away from my TBR that I had planned, but it was a good takeaway. In December, I chose 9 books to read. I finished Blood of Elves by Anders Sapkowski, and after that, I decided to continue with the Dark Tower series. And let me tell you, when I say that series has sucked me in like none other, I finished 3 books for that series this month. I was in the middle of the 3rd book, and I finished that. And then that ends on a cliffhanger, and I couldn't wait. I'm like, I have to get to the 4th book. And that's a 900-page book, and I wasn't going to read it in December because I'm like, I want to hit my 50 books for the year, and I don't want to jeopardize that by reading a 900-page book. I finished that in 3 days, and I'm so happy I did. And then I was going to start directly in on the 5th book, which is Wolves of the Calla, but I decided to read book 4.5, which is The Wind Through the Keyhole, and I love it. I love this world so much. But in December, I did read 5 books so far. I still have a couple days to finish off my 6th, because I am in the middle of Wind Through the Keyhole. I read 100 pages of it on my flight home from Christmas, and I'm so excited to finish. I only have, it's only a 300-page book, so I only have 200 pages left. It's only going to take me a few hours, and it's just so much fun. I love being in this universe. I love the characters and everything. And if you have not read the Dark Tower series and want a fantasy that has its own little flair to it, strongly suggest it. And then I am going to do a quick little book haul because I had Christmas, and then I also had Half Price Books did their 20% off sale again, and I did take advantage of that. I did go to Arizona for Christmas, and my parents took me to Barnes & Noble because they saw how excited I was about the Dark Tower series, and they bought me the rest of the books. So I got The Wind Through the Keyhole because I didn't have that one. I got Song of Susanna, and then I got The Dark Tower. So I'm very excited to jump into these. I do have another book to read before I can start those 2, though. And it is not thin. It is a 700-page book before I can read the 2 that my parents bought me. And then the Half Price book sale started on December 26th, and it ended today, which is December 28th when I'm filming it. And I picked up a couple good things. I got 5 books the other night and 6 books today. So to start, I picked up Outlander. I am using it for character with red hair. So I am just going to put it on top of my cart here because I don't have room to actually shove it in. So that is my first book I got. And then I got Dark Age and Iron Gold. Iron Gold comes first. So Iron Gold and Dark Age from the Red Rising series. Now the only one that I do not have is Lightbringer. And then I bought All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. I really like his writing. I've read The Road and I own The Passengers, and I'm very excited to get into that one. And this just sounded really interesting, so. And then I bought The Queen of Hearts. It is like a love story, and then it kind of revolves around a friendship that is dissipating and kind of falling apart. So, best friends from medical school, and one of them is a heart surgeon, and it's just kind of like, even if you're a heart surgeon, you can't fix a broken heart type thing. So I'm very excited for that one. I got it from the library at one point and then decided against reading it at the time. So I'm really happy to have it in my possession so I can actually get into it and read it on my own time. And then I got 2 trilogies today. First, I got the Born in Fire trilogy by K.F. Breene. I've read something else by K.F. Breene. Can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I got Born in Fire, Raised in Fire, and Fused in Fire. And this is like a supernatural bounty hunter romance, I think. I know for a fact that it's like supernatural and bounty hunter, which already cool. Sounds really fun. But I think it's a romance. And I'm excited to see how K.F. Breene does that, because I have liked their other works in the past. Very excited to try that one out. And then this was a cover by because I thought these were gorgeous. And I've never heard of them. They have like 100 ratings on Goodreads. Like, they are not exactly the most popular books or most talked about or anything. But it's called The Madness Method, the series is. So the first book's a Madness Project, and then A Dark So Deep, and then A Sea Like Glass. And it's got like secret societies of mages and wizards, and the crown prince goes undercover into that society to try to stop the rebellion. All of these are signed, and I didn't know that when I bought them, but all 3 of them are signed. And I'm like 99% sure it's supposed to be 4 books, but Goodreads says that the 4th book already came out, but nobody's read it or rated it or anything, and then Amazon says it's only a trilogy. So I don't really know if I'm going to just be disappointed by never getting the end of the series and like no fulfillment there, but oh well. I'm still going to try it and see how that goes. Jumping into my TBR, I will say 4 books have already been chosen for me because I always have my husband pick my first book of the year. And he chose prompt number 50, which is set in the 1940s. And he chose The Warsaw Orphan by Kelly Rimmer. That was my first book that I'm picking because my husband chose it. And then since I was with my parents, I had them pick 2 of my books as well. My dad told me to finish The Wind Through the Keyhole in January, which I might actually have this done before January. So I think I might actually pick another book just in case, because I do plan on finishing this before the start of the year. But that fulfills the written in 3rd person prompt. And then my mom picked the prompt that is Stream of Conscious Narration, and it's Parasol Against the Axe, which is a tale of friendship and family and just life, I guess, in Prague. I got this from the publisher, and I really don't know much about it, but I love the cover. I think it's really pretty, and the cover really was what made me ask for a copy. And yeah, so that is those 3. And then I also asked my friend who's doing this challenge with me to pick a book. And she chose Happy Place by Emily Henry. And I'm pretty sure she read this last year. But Happy Place by Emily Henry is a contemporary romance set in the summertime. And friends go away for one last hurrah at their family cabin. And the 2 that are in love and all that are actually not and are broken up, but they can't tell their friends because they don't want to ruin their trip. So I'm excited to read this. It fits prompt number 7, which is part of the genre sequence. and it is the one that's set in summer. So I think I'm actually going to pick 6 because I think I'm going to finish Wind Through the Keyhole in December, and then I can move on with the series. And then I'm honestly going to switch out one of my books, I think, that's on my list. I think I'm going to actually switch out A Darker Shade of Magic for Wolves of the Calla. I want to continue the series, but I also want to get points for my challenge. Pick number 1 of 6 is a tiny one. It's number 51. I know you probably won't be able to read these. So prompt number 51 is 300 to 400 pages long, which is honestly very appealing to me right now. But prompt number 51 is Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. It is about 350 pages. I have been really wanting to dive into S.A. Barnes's writing. This is a science fiction psychological thriller set on a space station. It just sounds really intriguing. It's about murders in space and trying to figure out what went wrong on this space station and who they can blame and what is going on. So 300 and 400 pages, prompt 51, Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. That is my first non-friend or family pick. So prompt number 2 that I'm going to be drawing is prompt number 25. And 25 is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. So a woman gains entry into a school of assassins to seek vengeance against the powers that destroyed her family. Her mom was executed for being a traitor, and her father tried and failed at creating a rebellion. Oh, wow, the font is tiny. So that is number 2, is Nevernight. Prompt number 3. There's not very many books on here that I don't want to read. It's just I don't want to read them right now when I have other books that I want to get to. Prompt number 10 is Author's Last Name is Also a First Name. And the book that I had chosen for this one was Belladonna by Adeline Grace. And it's a YA gothic romance, I think. So this girl is followed by death everywhere she goes and somehow sparks up a relationship with death. And that's all I know about this book. But it's beautiful and I love it. I love the cover. And I've been really wanting to read it because it's been really intriguing to me. And I think this winter is probably going to be the best time to read it because it gives gothic, dark academia type vibes. So that is prompt number 3, which is Author's Last Name is First Name. Prompt number 4 is number 32. Okay, I can probably do this one this month. It's a long one. I guess it's just going to be a month for J. Kristoff because Illuminate is what I have for this book. It includes a diary entry, and I chose this book because it's all diary entries and computer system things and just like manuscripts and stuff like that. So yeah, that is for my diary entry and prompt number 4. And just so happened to get both J. Kristoff books that I own. Number 5 is number 5. Number 5 is Plot Includes a Heist. And for this, I had chosen Artemis by Andy Weir because it is a heist on the moon. It's a lunar heist to get rich and famous. So that's really all I know about these. Like, I don't know much about these books. Like, I know that they sound intriguing when I pick them up, but I don't really ever delve super deep into the plots of the books. So prompt number 6, last prompt of the video, is gonna be prompt number 49. And this is one that I had changed. So I chose Tales from the Cafe, which is the sequel to Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It is set in Japan has active volcanoes, and I loved Before the Coffee Gets Cold so much that I couldn't help myself. I had to buy the second book, and it just so happens that it's set with an active volcano, and it fit perfectly for this prompt. To recap very quick, my husband chose for me The Warsaw Orphan, and this fulfills the prompt set in the 1940s. My dad chose The Wind Through the Keyhole by Stephen King, and this is written in third person. My mom chose Parasol Against the Axe by Helen Oyeyemi, and it fulfills the stream of conscious narration prompt. And then my friend chose Happy Place by Emily Henry, and it fulfills the set in summer prompt. So I'm very excited for those 4, and I think my friends and family chose well. Next, I had prompt number 51, 300 to 400 pages long, and it was Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. And then I had prompt number 25, Breaks the Fourth Wall, and I chose Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. And then I had prompt number 32, and that is Illuminae, and it includes a diary entry. And then prompt number 10, which was author's last name is also first name, and I chose Belladonna by Adeline Grace. And then prompt number 5, plot includes a heist, and I have Artemis by Andy Weir. And finally, I had prompt number 49, which is set in a country with an active volcano, and I have Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. So that's my stack, and it is hefty. Here is my 9-book TBR plus The Wind Through the Keyhole, but this is my TBR for the month, and I'm very excited to start this challenge for real. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what's on your January TBR if you make TBRs, and if you stick to them, kudos to you. Let me know what you read. I hope you have a great afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, and goodbye.